officer, so I supported an infantry company. So sometimes I'd just be over at their building. Artillery is always an interesting because we're a supporting asset. And that was the first female episode that company had ever seen. I was not the person to like shy away from the challenge. I'm also the type of person that I don't talk, I observe. I was able to keep up with them. I'm like, of course, I'm like just miles and miles every day, raining, no water, because you know, it's treated like the real situation.
You graduated artillery school. What did you go after that first?
Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg, okay. And what was your first unit that you were in?
So I was in 1319 AFAR, so I was in the 82nd.
Okay.
Yep, so at the time, they've kind of switched it. They go back and forth whether you're in like, you occupy like the company, because you know I was a fire support officer, so I supported an infantry company.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes I'd just be over at their building because that's like where the work was happening.
Yeah.
But we had Divardi, which was, you know, division artillery that we fell under.
Divardi. Nice.
Yeah, and they kind of brought that back, and then it went away, and then like all this craziness. But artillery is always an interesting because we're a supporting asset. You know?
Yeah. So you guys are constantly getting attached to the grunts or the infantry because they need you for calling for fire and stuff.
And I was the first female episode that company had ever seen. So I had
Really?
to earn my place.
What was that like?
So I was not the person to like shy away from the challenge. I'm also the type of person that I don't talk, I observe. At first, I'm not going to be out there like, oh, I'm the best, or because I'm like, let me just feel this out. Like I kind of just like a fly on the wall type thing. And then I had to brief my first fire, like my fire mission to them, like what my plan was, because we're going to the field all the time. Yeah. At Bragg, and especially Bragg, they're a little bit, you know, they want you to be on your stuff. And I remember that first sergeant, that little redhead, he was like he was more adamant about like, you know, like you better be like the shit because these are like my boys type thing. And I get that. I 100% get that. Yeah. And my team was all guys, you know, my fire team. So, because I had to be responsible for the infantry mortars. I had to be like their fires plan.
Really?
Yep. So they fall under me as well. So that they usually have a platoon leader as well, but my fires plan has to incorporate them. And it was fun. I mean, we would go to the field. It'd be great. When we went to JRTC, which was the big training exercise I got to go to, that's where I really proved myself. And they were just like, okay, because I could hump my weight because I always had 2 radios, my weapon, like all this stuff because I have to have comms. Yeah. I was able to keep up with them. I'm like, of course, I'm like just miles and miles every day, raining, no water, because, you know, it's treated like the real situation. If something doesn't happen, like you got to just go with it. Yeah. I just remember the first sergeant was like, you need to use the slit trench. And I was like, first sergeant, with all due respect, I was like, that is the one thing, that is where I draw the line. I'm going to that tree over there. I said, because this isn't in country. If we're in country, I will use your slit trench. But I'm like, until then, I'm the only female out here. And that's the only time I will like say that, you know, because if we're in country and we're like, I will do that. Sure, because
you're like, hey, dude, you're getting shot at, and there's like, it's not safe to just roll out outside of the fob and take a piss.
Totally get that. Yeah, and I'm like, you know, but I'm gonna go bury my tampon over here. Actually,
we're in North Carolina right now, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that we had like a little thing about, but other than that, and the commander was cool about it, but yeah, it was a good experience because I learned a lot about myself, but also, I mean, my team, you know, gained a lot of respect for me, and then that company obviously had a good experience with me because I didn't get fired or anything. Yeah, because you can.
Yeah, you can get fired 100%. Get fired, yeah.
Yeah. So
have you ever? So all the ladies I've met have talked about the she-weed. Do you ever have to use one of those?
They handed them out. I never used that.
Never used it.
Hell, where am I putting that after?
Oh yeah, it's a good.
It is covered in pee.
That's a good point. I hadn't considered that.
That is why I never use that. I was like, I'll just pull my damn pants down and go to the bathroom like a normal person.
Like a normal person, yeah. I hadn't thought about that because like I figured like in my head I'm like, yeah, you just use it and toss it in your pack and who gives a shit. But I didn't think about that.
Piss.
It's covered in piss.
Even if you put it in a little bag or an emery, I'm like, it's still
bag gross. A bag full of piss.
I'm good.
Imagine lugging around a bag of piss.
Yeah, and I'm not like pee shy. Like I will go wherever I need to go, but I'm like, I'm not carrying that around with me.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I've always been. Everybody's got different perspectives on it. I know some ladies that they were like, yeah, I did it because it was convenient for different situations or whatever. Like if you had trash cans that you could throw them away in, and maybe there was only one head that everybody was using, then it may be something different. But it depends on the situation, the person,
Luckily,
what the circumstances are. But so that was the only friction you really had with that first sergeant. And other than that, you performed well. You felt like you did a good job. The commanding, the CO, the company commander thought you guys did well. Did you ever have any interactions with like the battalion commander or anything, or like the 05?
Not directly, because I really just with mine on the artillery side, 'cause that's when we kind of go back and forth. Like I still fall under my own command, battalion commander.
Yeah.
On the artillery side, but as far as that, I just dealt with like my direct company that I supported.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I know in the Marine Corps infantry, at least when I was still in the infantry, that we didn't ever have like artillery officers get attached to us necessarily. At least not like at the battalion level, but typically in an infantry battalion, unless it's changed, the way it works is like the guy that is supposed to be in charge of all fires for the whole battalion is the weapons company commander. Yeah. The weapons company commander, the weapons company commander is supposed to be the senior captain in the battalion, and that guy is supposed to be in charge of the fires plan and coordination for the whole battalion. Yeah. And typically what I've seen, at least when we would go out to like 29 Palms, which is kind of like your guys's what's the place out in the desert you guys go to in California?
JRTC, and then there's
JRTC.
Also, yeah.
JRTC is the one I was thinking about. So your JRTC is very similar to our 29 Palms exercises, whatever we do there. Very similar. It's where you get evaluated to see if your unit's ready for deployment, essentially. Yeah. And when we would go out there, typically what would happen is we would get like a gunny that's an artillery guy and a captain that's an artillery guy. And they would be basically like advising the captain who's in charge of the weapons company on their fires plan for anything that's like a company attack or battalion offensive, because the weapons company were the only people that had 81 millimeter mortars. The 60s were all in the line companies. Yep. So, he probably had some influence on that stuff, but definitely coordinating air, artillery, 81s. Yeah.
It's all in the operation order.
Yeah. Sometimes snipers, because we had snipers in our company as well, and they would act as forward observers for the mortars and for other things too. Yeah. So he had a lot on his plate, but that's the only time I've ever seen artillery officers and artillerymen actually integrated in our company, which I imagine if we went into country, that it would probably be similar to that, at least at the time. Maybe it's changed now, but interesting to hear like your perspective from the Army side of the house, because you guys are structured a little bit differently than we are.
It depends on the units too. I was always towed light artillery. Like all of our howitzers are towed.
Really?
So so I didn't work on high, like your paladins or anything like that. Yeah. So everything was towed.
Did you ever have any like exposure to HIMARS?
No. So that's where it gets a little different too. Is some people, when you go to like a heavy mechanized unit, like a Fort Hood, you're gonna have those heavy like paladins and things that are essentially like a tank with artillery on it.
Yeah, the M109s.
So ours are like, we're hooking up our 105s. I was always with 105s. Not the 777s.
Not even 777s.
No, but I got to use the 777s in the schoolhouse, which was cool, because I mean those are some nice. But yeah, we hooked them up to the Humvees, and so that's where it was cool to be like a PL, because now I'm on the line with the guns, and that was cool too. Okay. But I still like the observation side, because that's more, I don't know, I like humping it with the infantry guys, and I like that part of it better. But
did you make any like long lasting relationships, friendships with people, connections with people that you met when you were working with the infantry guys?
I did, because I had to work with them a lot. Like I would actually go up to the PLs in the company that I was assigned to, and I would brief my plan. Hey, does this sound good? What do you guys need from me? So I made some good friends. Long lasting, not really. I think maybe a couple Facebook friends here and there, which is kind of sad. Like after the military, it's like a lot of people I would see every day, or I moved in PCS to a whole different Benning after 2 years, so I didn't get to spend like the usual amount of time with people.
Why'd you PCS so fast?
So my ex-husband is an infantry guy, so he was going to the captain career course in Benning. Oh, gotcha. And I was 29 weeks pregnant with his son.
Oh,
our son.
Why'd you use it? Why'd you make that face?
I was very pregnant, and they almost like weren't going to let me PCS because of that. But you get like one freebie, essentially, like an early PCS, and that was like my one favor, I guess, when you talk to your branch managers.
Gotcha. Branch managers are, for those of you out there,
Yeah.
they're basically the same thing as Navy detailers, Coast Guard detailers, or Marine Corps monitors. You guys call them branch managers. They're the people that kind of cut you orders and stuff.
Yep, and based on your rank and based on whatever, you get like a different branch manager who manages everyone in that specific like class or whatever you want to call it.
Same for us. We had different ranks and also different MOSs.
Yep.
They do. And also different for active and reserve component.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy, but that person probably has a very busy job. But so you're early PCS because, you know, I'm like, I want our family to be together. Like that was
you were thinking about your family.
Yeah.
And then where did you guys went to Benning, and you were 36 weeks?
No, I was like 29-ish, so almost at 30 weeks. So, you know, you're talking, I'm almost at the end.
Yeah.
So I had a big old stomach rolling up to Fort Benning.
Oh, man.
And of course, like, you know, I'm coming from the 82nd. I'm like, I'm going to Benning. And I found the one force comm unit that doesn't even exist anymore.
Really? They disbanded?
Yeah. Well, I think, okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. It was a task force 128. I think it's just infantry now. It was literally just a task force of, you know, your infantry companies, engineers, artillery, support, your logistics.
Okay.
That was our task force. So I found that they're like, oh, you can go to basic training, you can do this. And I was like, absolutely not. I want force comm. I want to be doing my job.
Yeah.
Like, want to do my job. Like, how can I do that? So I was able to go there. And yeah, so I remember rolling up and I was like, oh my gosh. Because of course, when you're new and I'm about to, you know, pop out a baby, they put me in the battalion side in the fire, in the battalion fires, which is fine. You get some, you know, experience with that too. And then I ended up meeting who would be my future commander. And he's who made me XO. He was like, you're going to be my XO. And I was like, awesome.
No kidding.
I just crushed it.
05?
Captain.
He was the captain. Okay.
Yep.
And he said, you're going to be my XO?
Yep. He was like, I want you to be my XO when we're out of here. And I was like, okay. I was like, sounds great. But there's like a lot to unpack there. There's a lot that happened in Benning, but.
Really? Is that that's kind of where
good.
you guys went your separate ways, or?
Eventually. Yeah. So, I mean, I really liked Benning, but also that unit was so crazy. But, I did a lot of work with like the Ranger Regiment out there. So they had a ton of rounds.
Is that where the 75th is?
Yep.
They're in Benning.
Yeah, they have a great DFAC, by the way.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. They want to make sure they're getting fed well.
Yeah.
Because you don't get fed when you're a Ranger school. So they're like, hey, now that you're actually a Ranger, here's real food.
Yeah. Yeah, here you go. You don't have to starve anymore.
Yeah. No more starving for you.
Yeah, so we would go there a lot after. But yeah, they had a lot of rounds. So I remember walking over with my commander to, you know, Ranger Reg, and like they're all like looking at me because like, what is she doing over here? And we would basically,
they haven't seen a female in their whole life or something.
Yeah, it's like
people
never,
are so
never in their life.
freaking weird. Yeah,
like
what are you
just
doing?
across the street. They're like literally across the street from us. You know, like that's essentially.
What are you on this side of the road for?
Yeah, like get on your own side. Yeah, but like I'd go over there, and basically what we tried to do is we would talk to everyone. And that's how my commander would shape me. He's like, you have to talk to these people. How can we use their rounds?
Yeah,
like, cool. So we started shooting their live fires for them.
Nice.
So that's how we got more practice for our guys, and we're like, so it was really great. And my commander was ex-regiment guy, so
he
was also ex-82nd, so we had a lot in common. So it was my first sergeant. All of us were like 82nd people. We thought similarly. We worked really well together. Had a really great team.
That's cool.
Couldn't have asked for anything better. But it was really cool to kind of integrate and do something like that, where you know you're kind of cross training in a sense.
Yeah.
With the Rangers, and really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, what kind of things did you guys do? Did you just go to the field and shoot out? You can shoot artillery in Benning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's all light. We were 105s. They're, you know, super old, but they were great.
And you were basically doing support, not support, sorry, you're doing fire support for like maneuvers and stuff like that?
Yeah,
that
so if they had a mission, they were going out and they were like, can we make it a live fire?
Yeah.
So that we can get some rounds, you know, downrange and then make it a cooler experience for you too at the same time.
Did you guys ever shoot over them?
Over, I don't think
overhead fires?
I don't think we were allowed to do that. Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, that is creepy. Because like when that's happening, because I remember being in a truck in 29 Palms when they're doing overhead fires over us.
Yeah.
And you can hear the 155 shells flying over your head.
Like 90-pound rounds.
And you can hear it. Yeah. You can hear 155 shells. It's like, and they're just coming, they're flying over. And I had a couple buddies that like they've had artillery like short rounds before it happened near them. and like they were freaking out about it, and I was just like, this is really weird. Like I don't feel like
It's terrifying.
do they know we're here right now? Like, are we supposed to be here right now? I feel like this is. I feel
a
like
lot
this
of questions.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
This is legal.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but I mean, I guess they must have had approval. I don't know who. I mean, because you can shoot any type.
Yeah.
You can literally drop any type of ordnance except for a nuclear bomb out there, pretty much,
Yeah.
because it's just like such a big open desert. There's like
Yeah.
exploded JDAM all over the place out there in
Wild.
29 Palms. I'm sure it is in the same thing in JRTC, but so you enjoyed the team that you had over there in Benning because they're squared away guys. You worked together well. Had a good team. What happened after that period of time? How long were you with that team for?
So that was until the end. I got out when I was in Benning of the military. So
from that unit.
Yep, that was the last unit I've ever been in. So
when you got out, had you already split